There's nothing special about me, with all due respect, but I have a very unique and simple approach to help more people and make more money.
Welcome to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jess and James, the only podcast you need to tune into each week to grow your personal, professional, and financial life. Join entrepreneur, investor, and multi-award-winning international speaker Jess and James as he shows you how to take control of your mind to create the life, income, and career you deserve. Here's your host, Jess and James.
I want to welcome you to this training, how to overcome all problems in your life. Yes, all problems in your life, and get paid to help others do the same, even if you've got no experience. Okay, so we're going to get cracking with this training now. So there's three types of people that this training is for. Okay, three types of people. Okay, number one, you're stuck. Maybe right now you're stuck in any area of your life. Maybe your relationships aren't where they should be. Maybe you've got some problems there. Maybe your finances are not where they should be and you've got some problems, then you're feeling a little bit stuck. Maybe your health isn't as great as what it could be. And I'm not just talking about your physical health here. I'm talking about your mental well-being too. Maybe you're stressed, anxious, nervous, feeling down, whatever it might be, and you're feeling, again, stuck. Maybe your career. Maybe you're in a job right now that is making you feel drained and stuck, or possibly you're not even working right now and you're struggling to actually get into a career and you want to do something fulfilling but also get paid well to do what you do. Or possibly right this very moment you are stuck in your business. That could be you too. Okay, maybe right now your business isn't going as well as you want it to and you'd like to get unstuck so you can move forwards. Okay, next type of person this is for existing coaches or therapists. Now, look, here's the thing. Coaches and therapists, if you're already a trained coach, maybe you've trained in coaching before, maybe you're a therapist in the sense that you've learned some kind of therapy, whether that's neuro-linguistic programming, whether that's rapid transformation technology, I think it's called therapy, whether that's any kind of psychotherapy, any kind of therapy in essence, where you work with people to get them unstuck. Any coaching, whether it's business coaching, life coaching, health coaching, whatever it might be, no matter where you are right now, maybe you're an existing coach or therapist, and you find that you're not really, A, getting the kind of clients you deserve, and B, you'd like to have some more tools in your toolkit to help your clients get long-lasting change. If that's you, stick around. This training's for you as well. And then maybe the third type of person it's for is someone who'd like to qualify as a coach or therapist. Now, let me explain what I mean by qualify. You don't need to go to university and study years to qualify to help people and get paid for that, okay? Because look, here's the thing. I just mentioned a lot of problems people might be having, whether it's with their health, relationships, businesses, wherever it might be. Some things that you might be going through right now. Well, guess what? It isn't rocket science. Other people all across the world, millions of people right now, are going through the same. And here's the problem. They're stuck and they need help. Now, one of the beautiful things you can do when you learn what I'm about to share with you is not only can you create amazing change for yourself and get unstuck, you can also go out and help other people, because there's nothing more fulfilling than overcoming some challenges yourself and then going out and helping other people. But here's the thing. I'm sick and tired of some of you going and help people for free. Let's be perfectly honest. There's only so much free help you can give to people. They need to get unstuck. And people, when they don't pay attention. Look, all across the world right now, people are paying coaches, therapists, practitioners for help, whether that's with their mental health, whether that's with their stress levels, whether that's with their performance, with their health, their finances, their business. There's lots of people out there right now that are paying for coaching and therapy. So why don't you get a piece of it? Okay, so I'm going to share with you in a moment what you can do throughout this training, what you can do to not only learn how to do this for yourself, but get paid to do it for other people and maybe start a new career completely. Okay, so there's 3 income opportunities as well that I need you to be aware of. There's 3 income opportunities and I need you to choose one of these. Why am I asking you to choose one? Because I think it's important. Again, focus, have some focus, have an outcome, be clear on what you want to achieve. This is super duper important. Okay, so here we go. 3 income opportunities. What are they? Okay, well, first of all, the obvious one is you set up on your own as a practice, in your own practice, as your own therapist, as it were, and you charge people to make money. Okay, now you can charge them. There's various ways you can charge them. One way, as a coach, you can charge people anything between, I don't know, £250 an hour for a session. When I say an hour, sometimes it's like 90 minutes, something like that. Okay, so per session. Okay, that's the first way. Second way of making money is as a therapist. So coaches and therapists are two separate things. Okay, therapists tend to do more in-depth work with you. Coaches can still get change for people, 100%. Therapists can actually go a step further and create long-lasting change for people by going a bit deeper, doing a bit more inner work, as it were. Okay, so what does that mean? It means you can charge more. So therapists tend to be able to charge about £350, £400 per session, depending on what problem they're solving for people. Okay, so that's the second way you can make money from this. The third way of making income from this is by holding what's called breakthrough sessions or breakthrough experiences for people. Now, these typically take like maybe about a day or so to do with a client. It's for people who are trained in coaching and therapy. So you combine those skills together. You can't just do it if you're just a coach. You can, but it's not as powerful and you don't have the tools that you need to be able to give people the result. Let's be honest, you want to give people results. So if you train as a therapist, not only will you be able to earn per hour, but you can charge people for what's called a breakthrough experience. Now, these typically happen over a day, breakthrough day, charging anything from about £3,000 upwards for a breakthrough experience for somebody. Okay, now that's great. So there's three ways right now. You can coach, earn about 200, 250 an hour. You can just do therapy sessions as well, which can earn like maybe 350, 400 an hour, or you can actually go and do breakthrough experiences. Okay, so I want you to choose one. Hold on to an idea, because hopefully that will help you get some clarity on where you're going. Okay, so how do you get there fast? How do you get unstuck yourself and then on your road to earning whilst helping other people? Well, by keeping it simple. Okay, understanding the mind and learning how to help people. All right, you'll learn a bit more about me in a second, but one of the things that has helped me in my career over the years of helping others is understanding, whether that's coaching someone in their business, coaching someone on their health, coaching someone on their well-being, their relationships, their finances. At the end of the day, before all of those things, we're human beings. Give me a 1 down below if you agree with me. Give me a 1 if you're human, please. Okay. And I hope there's no robots watching this. So, right, we're human first, right? Thank you. Right, we're human first. Plain and simple. All of us are human beings first and foremost. So why are we busy trying to teach people new things without understanding that they are humans first? You've got to learn how the mind works, how we as human beings process information. How do we receive information? What filters do we put this information through before we go and make decisions? Because at the end of the day, many of you watching this right now, my guess is you kind of already have an idea of what you could be doing to get unstuck, whether that's in your business, whether that's in your personal life, whether that's in your finances. I believe you already have an idea of some of the things you could be doing because someone's already told you to do it or you've heard about other people doing it. Okay. Now, let's be perfectly blunt. Whilst you might already know what you could be doing, one of the reasons why you don't do it is because there's something holding you back. Give me a 2 in the chat box if you know there's something you could be doing to improve your life, but you struggle with the mindset to actually do it. Let's be honest with you. Give me a 2 in the chat box if you struggle with the mindset. Yes? Awesome. There we go. See? It's the truth, right? So some of us already know what we should be doing, but we don't do it. So the key here to not only getting unstuck for yourself and helping other people get unstuck is learning how the mind works, number one, and then also learning how to help people get unstuck, because that's really, really important, all right? Because I'm a big believer in you learn what you teach, because here's a little catch. A lot of people don't understand this, okay? They think that you've got to have it all figured out yourself before you go and help other people. Wrong, okay? What you need to do is make sure that you are aware of the challenges that you're going through right now. You start your own journey to solving them and getting unstuck. And in that process, you start to help other people because you learn what you teach. I promise you that the more times you teach something to somebody else, the more you learn it. For me as well, when I'm teaching my students stuff, I'm constantly getting stuff out of it. Again, I'm relearning or learning new stuff or re-enhancing stuff that I already knew. It's a beautiful way to not only earn money, but help yourself and other people at the same time. Okay, so it's really, really cool. Now, why is that important? Why is it important that you learn how the mind works and also how to help others. Because at the end of the day, if right this very moment you already have an idea of what you could be doing, or you see other people around you who are solving their problems and living their life happy, whether that's a happy relationship, happy well-being, great career, great income, dream lifestyle, then look, if you're aware other people can do it, then why aren't you doing it as well? Okay, I want you to start doing it. Okay, why? Because what's the alternative? What's the alternative? Carry on being stuck, carrying not being satisfied, carry on feeling down and low and stressed. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do that. The other reason why I believe every single one of you watching this right now should do what I'm about to tell you to do is because at the end of the day, people need help. People need help. Okay. And unfortunately, there are lots of people out there right now who need help and not enough solid coaches, therapists, trainers, people who can help them. All right. So maybe this is where you come into it. All right. And now, why more than ever? Why now? Why now more than ever? I tell you why. The world has changed, hasn't it? The world has completely changed, right? Stress levels are higher than ever, even down to children. It's like the evidence is becoming more and more apparent now that stress and anxiety is affecting actually kids in school, especially around exam time. Yeah. So look, more and more people right now are going through challenging times, whether that's through the economy, whether that's through, losing their jobs, whatever it might be, personal challenges, whatever it might be. There are lots of people out there struggling. And here's the problem. They are looking for help. And the question is, if you are not around, how are they going to find you? Okay. So look, there's a massive opportunity right now for you to not only get unstuck for yourself, which is a complete massive breakthrough, but to get paid to help other people. Why? Because there's people looking for people to get help. But if they don't know you exist, they're not going to find you. So the demand right now for help with coaching and therapy and things like that is really high. So you want to get in when the demand is high. It's super important. And here's the other massive opportunity. Right this very moment, a lot of people are scared to actually retrain and start something new. For example, start being a therapist, start being a coach, start putting themselves out there. So a lot of people are retracting and rather than pushing forwards, they're retracting. So the best time for you to grow is when everybody else is retracting, because there's less competition around. So grab this opportunity while you can. So remember, there's the 3 income opportunities you can earn as a coach, around £250 an hour, or per session, should I say. You can earn as a therapist, $350, $400 a session, or you can, as a therapist, also do breakthrough experiences for people where you can charge about £3,000 a day to do a breakthrough experience for them. There's so many great opportunities, okay? But you've got to act fast, my friends. You really do, okay? This is not for you to dilly-dally and think about. First of all, you've got to act fast and change your own life. That's super important, okay? Because look, I don't think any of you deserve to suffer, yeah? In fact, give me a 1 down below if you believe you deserve better, please. Give me a 1 down below if you believe that you deserve better. Yes? There we go. Look at all of the ones popping up. There you go. That's the point, okay? You all deserve better. But you've got to do something about it right now. You've got to do it right now. What's the alternative? Carry on doing what you're doing and not be happy? You only live once, my friends. Live life to the full. It's really important. And look, here's the other thing. Like I said, people are looking for help right now. So stop dilly-dallying. Help yourself and then help other people, please. Otherwise, what will happen? You won't be fulfilled and other people won't get the help they need. Come on, let's get together and let's do this properly, okay? So look, you might be wondering who I am. Who's this Jessen guy? Some of you might know who I am because you've seen me before. Maybe you're a client of mine. Maybe you followed me already. But if you don't know who I am, rather than make this about me, I'd rather you do me a favor. Head over to my social media channels. Any of them, whether that's my Instagram, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, my TikTok. Yes, I'm even on TikTok, but you won't catch me doing those funky dances, or maybe, I don't know. But go and connect with me online. Go and check me out. And I want you to understand that I'm not someone who's just doing these sessions and that's it and I'm done. You'll see me out there actively across my social media channels, talking about this stuff, doing this stuff as well. So feel free to connect with me on any of my social media platforms. And if you're watching this right now and you fancy it, tag me in one of your stories. Maybe take a screenshot of this, your computer or wherever you're watching this from, and tag me in your Instagram story. And what I'll do is I'll share that story to my own story. So hopefully you'll get some exposure as well, and people will see you. I can show you to all of my thousands of followers as well. Okay, so tag me on the Instagram stories if you're watching this. Let everybody know how much you're enjoying this training, and I'll also tag you back. All right. Sound fair? Fantastic. But look, to cut a long story short, what qualifies me to teach you this stuff? Many people don't know this, but I'm actually an ex-psychiatric nurse. I used to be a psychiatric nurse. I qualified as a psychiatric nurse, and I worked in the nursing sector for a few years. I actually climbed the ranks really, really quickly. I became one of the youngest ward managers in the UK at 27 years old. I worked in the private sector. I used to manage a ward of females with borderline personality disorder, and it was a locked and secure unit. Okay, and my job was not only to manage my team, manage my staff, but work with the clients, work with the patients. I've trained in different therapies. I was actually flown to San Diego and trained in different therapies to be able to support my clients. But for me, things changed in 2009. There was a great turn in the economy, much like we're seeing recent times. But here's the thing: my employer decided it was better to let me go than to keep me on. And just like that, my job was taken away from me. But look, I'm a genuine believer in life happens for you, not to you. Now, at the time, I didn't think that. I felt massively hurt. However, I had to do something different, and I realized that things had to change. So I set up my own care business. That care business actually made me financially free at the age of 31 and a millionaire 2 years later. The reason I'm sharing that with you is not to impress you. I just want to share with you that sometimes things happen for a good reason, and we don't see the blessing in it, But look, here's the thing: making money is great, but something's missing, and that's fulfillment. And in order to get fulfilled, you've got to give back. And for me, the best way to give back is to actually coach and mentor and train. I'm not just talking about doing charity work. Anyone could do charity work, but why don't you teach a person to fish rather than give them a fish? I hope this is making sense. Yeah. So I retrained as a coach and a speaker back in 2014 as a coach. And I've been coaching people for many years since then. But I then retrained as a speaker a year later so that I could share my message all across the world. I've trained in neurolinguistic programming, NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and obviously public speaking. And then I've brought all of that with my background in psychiatric nursing. I've understood how the mind works for a very long time, very, very long time. In fact, I first started working in psychiatry when I was 19 years old. I'm only 21 now. But what I'm trying to say to you is for me, I genuinely feel I not only have the qualifications for this, but I've got the experience to do this, which is really, really important. And I feel very blessed and privileged because I've been able to travel the world, training tens of thousands of people all across the world in business, mindset, sales, marketing. But my biggest passion is personal development and helping people break through. This is actually me with the then president of Mauritius after running my first event out there, just not long after I qualified as a speaker, And I'm very, very grateful because, like I said, I've been across different platforms in different countries. I've spoken in many, many countries all across the world, including online platforms as well. Success Resources are one of my promoters who are, one of the biggest promoters in the world, who put me on stage with some incredible people like, I've shared the stage with Gary Vaynerchuk. I've had, dinner with Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I've put that slide in there for a reason. It's not to show you that I know, I've hung out with Robert Kiyosaki. No, it's for this reason. He shared something during this private dinner that I want to share with you. He said, and by the way, he's a God-fearing person. You don't have to be religious, but he said this: the world's a very messed up place with lots of bad things happening. What can you do that you're passionate about, you get paid really well for, and makes this world a better place? I'll say that again. He said, what can you do that you are passionate about, you get paid for really well, and makes this world a better place? And it hit me in that moment, like literally hit me in that moment, that I get to do this every single day. I'm passionate about helping other people. I get paid really well to do that. And it makes the world a better place. Think about the ripple effect of making other people's lives better. When you help somebody, I don't know, overcome anxiety or stress or depression, you're not just helping them, you're helping them become a better parent, a better father, a better mother, a better husband, a better wife, a better spouse, a better sibling. You're just helping them become a better person in general. So the ripple effect of that now starts to impact their whole family. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It really, really is. And that's why I really want you to pay attention to what I'm talking about, because I'm grateful and blessed, because for me as well, not only have I gone from, watching, people on YouTube I've gone to like people like Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Sharon Lecter from The Secret. I've gone on to sharing the stage with these people like, all of the people you see here, Deepak Chopra, Robin Sharma, Mel Robbins, Dr. John Demartini. I've lost track of how many incredible people I've been able to share the stage with. But look, I'm just trying to say to you that there's possibility in everything, absolutely everything. And when you learn how the brain works, when you learn how to get out your own way, when you learn how to get unstuck, it opens your mind to complete possibility. And when you start to help other people, I promise you will never go broke, ever, 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 ever. I've won over 7 awards in public speaking for what I do. And you don't just get awards for the sake of it. These awards for me, including Best Male Speaker and UK Speaker of the Year, these awards for me have showed that other people see value in what I share, and I'm not asking you to become a speaker. I'm just asking you to become somebody who changes their own life and effects change for other people. Okay, it's really, really important. I then went on with a colleague of mine and co-founded something called Emotional Change Therapy. Now, I'll talk to you more about what emotional change therapy is later on, but it's disrupting the way people get help right now. And I'm looking for more people, by the way, to come on this journey with me. And I'll explain how that works a bit later on. I'm very grateful that I've been able to feature on national TV several times. I was on Channel 5's Rich House, Poor House twice. Again, not sharing that with you to show off, but to share with you that there's social proof out there, okay? I don't just talk about stuff, I go and do it. If you haven't watched that show before, I had to change lives of a family who were less well off, and then went on to, after the show, helping that family by teaching them how to become entrepreneurs, funding the startup of their company and getting them on their way, so taking them out of poverty and starting to pay off their debts, so I'm very grateful and blessed. I get to live a great life. I love freedom. I love helping other people. And by the way, becoming a coach or a therapist as well, once you've helped yourself, you can work from anywhere in the world. Like literally, I'm not just saying like some laptop lifestyle stuff, but you can literally work anywhere in the world. You can have clients all over the world. And for me, I love traveling. I also love taking my family to beautiful places. So look, here's the thing. It's not just about making money, guys. It's about freedom, time freedom, having the time to do stuff. Many of you might have family. Many of you might have children. In fact, give me a 1 down below if you've got children, you've got family that you care about. Yeah, fantastic. There you go, right? So do you really want to spend your time stressing and worrying and not living your best life, because that will knock on to them? Or do you want to start living your best life? Answer's yours. The choice is yours, should I say. Okay, give me a 2 if you're ready to live your best life, please. Yes? Fantastic. I want to see lots of 2s. Yes? Awesome stuff, So look, here's the thing. There's nothing special about me, with all due respect. There's nothing special. But I have a very unique and simple approach to help more people and make more money. Plain and simple, okay? I've used it myself personally to help thousands and thousands and thousands of people all across the world. And I'm not ashamed to say, helped me make a lot of money too, because I believe this. So many people are chasing the money. There's nothing wrong with making money your focus. All of you should make money. I promise you that. But here's the problem. So many people make money the first thing that you focus on. Don't do that, okay? Focus on helping other people. If you can learn, and Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, if you know who Tony Robbins is, he says the secret to living is giving. The secret to living is giving, okay? Give first and you shall receive. If you can learn how to get unstuck yourself and then help other people, the game changes. I promise you this, okay? So are you ready to do the same? Give me a 1 down below. Give me a 1 down below if you're ready to do the same, ready to help other people, not just help yourself. Give me a 1 down below. Fantastic, awesome stuff. So let's get stuck into it, okay? So I want to introduce you to something that we cover at ECT, at Emotional Change Therapy, called the model of the world. Now, the model of the world isn't new. It's something that was derived from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, called the communication model, or model of the world, whatever you want to call it. And the reason I want to share this with you is because, what did I say at the beginning? If you can learn how your mind processes information and then couple that with helping other people, you can not only change your own life, but change other people's lives and get paid for it. Okay. So I want to talk you through this, because at the end of the day, when you understand this, it will help you overcome any problem that you're going through in your life, at least understand why you're going through that problem and do something different about it. And also learn the basis of starting to get paid to help other people, okay? So let's get stuck into it. Coaches, therapists, trainers, people who've trained in this stuff before. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. Maybe you know this stuff already. In fact, give me a 2 down below if you're trained in coaching or therapy already. Please give me a 2 down below if you're already trained in coaching or therapy or something like that. Okay, fantastic, awesome. All right, so let's get stuck in. I don't want to keep you too long. I want to get this to you, give it to you, and then I'm going to share with you when I've finished how easy it is actually to get qualified as a coach or therapist in this particular framework, and how easy it is to start getting paid. Okay, cool. So let's get stuck in. So here's the thing. I want you to imagine for a moment that head that you see on the screen is you. Okay, clearly it's not as good looking as you, but it's you. All right. And I want you to understand, on a daily basis, as a human being, every single day, we face what's referred to as an external event. Okay, something will happen to us. Something will happen, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. No matter what happens, something may happen. Now, in life in general, external events are things that you cannot avoid. Clearly, okay. Here's some examples of external events. Somebody lets you down. You can't avoid that. You can't hide away from it forever. Okay. You might lose your job. That's an external event. You could lose your business. That's an external event. You could get sick. That's an external event. There are external events all around us happening all the time. Now, here's the challenge. When that external, again, outside event happens, it goes internal, doesn't it? Okay. We put it through our mind. Let's be honest. All of us put it through our mind. Okay. Now, typically, and I want you to understand this, typically, if you can understand how to change the meaning of an external event, you will not only become less stressed, but you'll become more resourceful. Because look, at the end of the day, we can't stop problems from happening. Okay. They're not going to go away. Please don't think that I'm going to wave a magic wand in a moment and you'll never have a problem ever again. No, that's not true. We all will be faced with problems. I still face problems right now. Of course I do. Okay. I wouldn't be human if I didn't. However, because I understand what I'm teaching you, I can create a different experience in my mind of that problem, which helps me become less stressed, which allows me to be more resourceful and solve the problem. Most people are not resourceful. They're just stuck because of how they're processing this external event. For example, why does one person lose their job and panic, and then the other person loses their job and sees it as an opportunity to start their own business? Again, same external event, different internal process. So let's take a look at this, okay? There are 3 things that our brains do when we see external events. Number 1, we delete them, okay? What do I mean by this? We delete things. We delete opportunities, for example. So here's the example. Same person loses their job. I just spoke about that. One person loses their job. They panic, completely panic, okay? Now, what are they deleting right now? They're deleting an opportunity. Rather than go, hey, what's the lesson in this? Maybe instead of actually putting myself in the same situation and getting another job, why don't I actually use what I already know and start a business or work for myself? Okay. There's an opportunity there. Okay. You're not chained to a contract anymore. You can go and work for yourself. So, but what happens? We delete that opportunity because it's not important to us. And look, human beings are deletion creatures. We're powerful at deleting stuff all the time. We delete opportunities. We delete information that's not relevant to us. For example, every single one of you right now are deleting, if you're sitting down, that is, the sensation of the chair on your bottoms, aren't you? You're deleting that feeling of the chair, but you're thinking about it now. I said it. Do you see what I mean? We're constantly deleting information that isn't relevant to us. Now, why am I saying this to you? Because in life, if you want to know the secret to ending all of your problems, in fact, give me a 1 down below if you want this. This is super top secret. You want to know the secret? Give me a 1, give me a 1, give me a 1. Yes? All right. Here's the secret to all of your problems, to answer all of your problems so that you'll never have a problem again. Here it is. Ready? The problem isn't the problem. The problem is not the problem. The real problem is you are deleting the solution. Okay? Please write that down if you're taking notes. The problem isn't the problem. The real problem is you are deleting the solution. And that's what most people do. Okay. Now, why am I teaching you this? Well, what are you deleting right now? What opportunities are your way that you're deleting right now? What things are going on in your world? What's the blessing in your problem right now? Because you're deleting that too. I promise you, when things don't go our way, for right now, if you're stuck in your personal, professional, financial life, when things are not going your way, it's so easy to delete the solution, isn't it? Yeah. So why delete the solution? Because it's not apparent to you right now. All right. Where are you deleting opportunities right now? Have a think about that. Have a think, because there's equal good in your situation. You just haven't seen it yet. Okay. What's the next thing that we do? Well, we also, external event happens, distort it. What does that mean? It means we change the meaning. We change the meaning of what's going on. Okay. So I don't know. For example, you lose your job. I'm going to stick with this example. You lose your job. Okay. And you basically change the meaning of, oh, that's awful. My boss doesn't like me. They're horrible. They're evil. They've used me. Da, 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 da. That's not true, is it? Really? That's not really true. Okay. Is it possible that your employer, who's running a business, has struck upon hard times and they don't have any money anymore, so they can't afford to keep you on, and they love you? They would love to keep you on, but they can't, because they can't actually pay you. And it'd be wrong to keep you on knowing that they can't pay you. So they've had to let you go. Is it possible that that's happened? Yes, it is. But many of us, sometimes we distort the image and go, that's horrible. After everything I've done, they hate me. They don't hate you. They love you. They just can't afford to keep you on. It's part and parcel of it. Okay. That's an example of distorting. We change the meaning of things. Okay. So again, why am I telling you this? Well, I want to ask you a question. Where are you changing the meaning of things right now in your own life? Whatever problem you're going through right now, where are you changing the meaning of what it really means? Okay. Some of us just change things. We make things worse than what they are. Don't do that. Okay. Look at things the way they are. Don't make them worse. Don't play them down either, but don't make them worse. Okay. Look at everything the way that it is. It could be like a child. A child's very black and white, aren't they? They just look at it and go, that, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I like that. They don't put any filters into it. Okay. So how can you be more childlike is what I'd say. And then the third thing we do is generalize when things happen to us, external events. So I'll stick with a job again. You lose a job and you say stuff like, this always happens to me. Really? Always? Or you say something like, bad things always happen to me. Always. Like from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, bad things are always happening to you. Well, why am I teaching you this? Because it's not true. It's what we call a generalization. Okay. You don't have bad things happening to you all the time. Okay. I don't care what situation you're in right now. We've always got something to be grateful for. Even if it's just being able to breathe, even if it was waking up this morning and opening your eyes, you should be waking up every morning and being thankful. Do you know what I do when I wake up in the morning? I'm grateful. I thank the world. I thank the universe for waking me up in the morning. Why? Because somebody went to sleep last night and didn't wake up. Let that sink in for a second. Okay. So don't always think everything is bad. What's going on in your life right now that could be good? Okay. Seek the good in stuff as well. Don't always generalize and say this always happens to me or bad things always happen to me, where it might be. Okay. Now, look, I want you to understand something. Whilst we are processing all this information, external event, we put external events through some filters. Okay. So I want to share with you some filters right now. Okay. Filters of this, for example, our beliefs and our value system. Whenever an external event happens, we put it through our values and belief system. Now, what's a value? What's a belief? A value is something that's important to you, such as family, honesty, friendship, trust, transparency, integrity, things like that. Security, safety, love, whatever it might be. Okay, these are what we call values. Now, from our values, we create beliefs. Okay, beliefs. What's a belief? Something that you hold to be true. Okay, so if your value is you've got a strong family value, yeah. In fact, give me a 1 down below if you're a strong family orientated person. You value family, yeah, fantastic, just like me. Okay, so if you value strongly your family, your belief is always look after your family. Give me a 2 if that's you. Yeah, values of family is important to you. So your belief is always look after your family, always look after your own. Give me a 2. Yeah, that's how I look at it. Family is really important to me. I treat my clients like my family. Go and ask my clients how I operate, and that's important to me. I always look after my family. Always look after people who work with me. Okay, so that's my belief system. All right. Now, why am I sharing that with you? Is because when an external event happens, ask yourself, what values and beliefs of mine are keeping me stuck right now? For example, if you are not happy in your relationship right now, just an example, and what you really want to do is have a courageous conversation with your partner and tell them that it's over, but you're not doing it. You've got to ask yourself, well, what value of mine is keeping me stuck? Well, it's your value of security, safety. You'd rather be safe, okay? You believe it's better to be safe than sorry, so you don't leave that relationship. So your value of safety is actually not serving you right now, okay? So what value do you need instead? A value of freedom, because a value of freedom will make you believe that I should be free, not chained somewhere where I'm unhappy, okay? Hope this is making sense. Give me a 1 if you're following me so far, please. Yes, give me a 1. Fantastic. All right, so let's move on because I want to crack on with this. I don't want to keep you here too long. Next, another filter we can put stuff through are pictures, images, okay? Every single time something happens to us or an external event goes on, we start to create pictures in our head, and some of us are completely unaware that we're doing it, yeah? So again, we'll stick with the external event of losing your job. You lost your job and you start picturing in your head of struggling to pay your bills, struggling to pay your mortgage, struggling to put food on the table, all that kind of stuff. You start to make pictures in your head of these things, okay? That's how our brains work. Now, if you make bad pictures in your head, then you can also make good ones. Let's be honest, okay? Why can't you lose your job and then make a picture of you being free, being happy, living life on your terms, working from anywhere in the world? I'm not saying that's the default that people do, but is it possible? Give me a 2 if it's possible to make good pictures in your head. Yes? Yeah, of course it is. All right. So, but people are not trained to do that. We're trained to go to the negative straight away. Okay. What else do we do? Attitudes is a filter we put external events through. If you have a bad attitude, when an external event happens, such as lose your job, of course, you're going to process it in a different way and it's going to make you feel crap. Of course it is. Okay. So I'm not saying that you should walk around with like a super duper positive attitude all the time, but I genuinely feel that you should be more optimistic and less pessimistic. What you'll find is if you've got a pessimistic attitude, you'll always find problems and stuff. If you've got an optimistic attitude, I'm not asking you to delete risk. What I'm trying to say to you is look for the good too. That's really, really important, you know. In fact, give me a 1 down below if you know someone with a bad attitude, please. Give me a 1 down below if you know someone with a bad attitude. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we all know someone who is, and let's be honest, they've always got something to moan about, haven't they? Okay, nothing's ever good for them. All right, don't want to hang around those people. Okay, you definitely don't want to be one of those people either. All right, next, language. Okay. Whenever an external event happens, there's 2 types of languages you need to be aware of that affect our state and affect how we feel, okay? First one is external language, what people say to us, okay? For example, you lose your job, your colleague finds out, they say to you, when I say external language, this is other people talking to you, your colleague finds out you've lost your job, they start saying to you, that's out of order, after everything you've done, how dare they treat you this way, and it doesn't make you feel good, right? It starts to make you feel more angry and annoyed about the situation, okay? So it's not very good, that language, okay? Now, the second type of language you might hear is your own language, internal language, negative self-talk, okay? So lose your job, external event, and then you start talking crap to yourself, don't you? Start saying, oh man, like, this always happens to me, and maybe I'm just not good enough, and when am I going to catch a break? And before you know it, you've got people around you moaning about the external event, you're moaning to yourself, and before you know it, you're stuck, okay? So I want you to understand something, my friends. You've got to learn how to take this language and turn it around. How can you listen to better people? How can you go and get better advice from external places? And then how can you learn to coach yourself, not commentate on your life, okay? How can you coach yourself better? How can you talk to yourself better? That's really, really important, okay? Another filter that we put stuff through are memories. Okay, we often put stuff through memories. Now, what are memories? These are things that have happened in the past, or our perception of what I think happened in the past. Okay, now memories aren't necessarily real. I'm not going to talk about that on this training, but memories are not necessarily real. Okay, the event happened, but our memory of it changes over time. Okay, it does. Either it will get worse, as in we don't remember much what happened, or we'll start to change what happened in our head because we're putting it through different filters. Okay, so memories are something that affect us. Now, typically, external event happens, lose your job, you put yourself back, you start thinking of another time in your life when you were let down, another time in your life where someone let you go, another time in your life where someone betrayed you, let you down, whatever it might be. and you start to bring up negative feelings associated with a completely separate event, a completely different time in your life. Okay, let's be honest. Who's ever experienced something bad before and it made them think of when something bad happened to them in the past as well? You go, oh, here we go again. This happened to me before. Give me a 1 down below if you've ever experienced that. Yes? Where you've gone, oh, here we go again. Yeah, there we go. See? Do you see what I mean? So it doesn't actually help you, does it? When you go, oh, this happened to me before. Why is this happening again? It doesn't. So again, just like language, if you can listen to bad language, you can also listen to good language. So with memories, if you can find bad memories, can you also find good ones? Of course you can. If you want to, you look, there are times in your life where you have good memories. Why don't you look for good memories instead of bad ones? It's just not how we're programmed. Yeah. So all of these things affect our decision making at times. Yeah, they do. And they ultimately affect what's called our internal representation. Our IR is what we call it. Internal representation. Now, an internal representation is essentially how we view an external event. That's it. Okay. So lost our job. Two people, same people, two people, same problem. Okay. One lost their job. Internal representation was, oh my God, this is it. Like, it's terrible. The world's going to end. Second person, like, great, fantastic. I can go and start my own business. Same external event, completely different internal representation. And here's the thing. Both of those people put the external event through many of their filters before they made that decision and hit that internal representation. And it happens in freaking split seconds. It literally happens in split seconds. So why am I teaching you that? Because you need to understand that your internal representation will affect your state. Okay. However you view what's just happened will affect your state. Okay. Same event, two people, one lost their job. One person's internal representation was, oh my God, this is terrible. What did it do to their state? It made them go into a poor state. They were in a low state, which affected their behavior, which ultimately affected their results. And then the second person, they lost their job too. Their internal representation was great. I could start a business, which put their state into an empowering state. They behaved in an empowering way, and they got some incredible results by starting their own business. Think about it. Okay. So what does this prove to you? If you want better results, change your behavior, behave better. If you want to behave better, have a better state. If you want to have a better state, have a better internal representation of an external event. Give me a 2 down below if you're following me so far, please. Give me a 2 if this is making sense. Yes. I want to see lots of 2s down below if this is making sense, please. Yes, 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 yes. Good. All right. So you must understand this, my friends. You've got to understand this. Okay. Everything that we do stems from internal representations of what's going on and our state. If we can learn to manage our state better, we'll take better actions and we'll get better results, plain and simple. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because if you want to learn the secret to overcoming any challenge in your life, change how you look at it. Change how you look at it. I think it was Wayne Dyer that said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. I'll say that again. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Listen to that for a second. That's powerful, man. Like, you've got to understand this. If you could change how you look at things, everything changes in your life. Okay. Your state changes, your behavior changes, your results change, plain and simple. And that's all I want you to do. Have a look at your life right now and ask yourself, like, where's the blessing in what's going on in my life right now? What's the learning? What's the lesson? That will affect your state. It will make your state actually go from being low to a bit more higher, a bit more positive, which means you'll behave differently. You'll act differently. And when you act differently, you get better results, plain and simple. Okay. So look, here's the thing. Would you like to learn how I do what I do? How I actually get paid to not only help myself, but how do I get paid to help other people? Give me a 1 down below if you want to learn how I do what I do. Okay, please understand this. Yes, I want to see lots of 1s. Okay, because I have a very special invitation for some of you. By the way, there's nothing to buy on this training. You can't buy anything. I'm not selling you anything at all. I just have an invitation to make to a few of you because I need your help. I need your help. Okay, let me explain why. The world is suffering. I have requests every single day from people who need help with their mental state, with their health, their money, their careers, their well-being, their relationships. I've got people who are always asking for help. and I don't have enough people around me to help. Yeah, because I can't do it all myself. Okay, so I need your help. And the way I can help, the way you can help me is to learn what I do, and then go off and do it, so I can refer patients to you, refer clients to you, refer people who are struggling to you, whatever it might be. Okay, whether you're an existing coach or therapist, or whether you're looking to train as one. Okay, so I explain how you can do this in a second, even if you've got zero experience in this stuff. Now, typically, when people want to learn what I do, is they'll go the route that I went down, okay, which is to learn how to learn to become a practitioner of NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Okay, now neuro linguistic programming is an incredible technology. In fact, ECT, emotional change therapy, that I co-founded, is fundamentally based on NLP. It really is. There's nothing wrong with NLP. It's phenomenal. I've got nothing but love and respect for NLP. It's changed my life. Where I had a challenge is that it became a bit complicated, and I'll explain what I mean in a moment. But as a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, NLP practitioner, you can typically charge about 200 to 250 pounds per hour or per session. Okay. Now, there's another level, which is master practitioner. Now, it can take you up to 7 days to qualify as a practitioner, as an actual practitioner. And as a master practitioner, this is where you get advanced techniques and advanced ways of doing things, which means you can charge more for your time, but you've got to take about 14 days to be able to do that. 14 days. So you've got to do 7 days, and then you've got to do 14 days on top of that. Okay, so it's a lot. All right. Now, once you've done that 14 days, you can also start to charge maybe 350 to 400 pounds per session to help people get some breakthroughs. Okay, but I'm going to be honest, it's hard. It really hard. Okay, it's hard, and the reason it's hard is because it takes so long to qualify, and by the time you qualify, there's so much information being thrown your way that you're a bit confused, and because you're confused, you don't move forwards, and sadly, you don't really reach out and get the help that you need to practice this stuff, which basically means that you end up losing it. Have you ever heard of the term use it or lose it? Give me a 1 down below if you've heard this before. Use it or lose it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Which is where emotional change therapy comes in. Because emotional change therapy, I believe, is one of the best ways to take what we know in NLP, in the NLP world, simplify it, so that not only do you get quick results for yourself, but you get quick results for other people and get paid. Okay. At the end of the day, people are only interested in getting unstuck. When your clients turn up, they're stuck. They want to get unstuck. That's it. All right. Now, if you're also stuck because you're too confused, and you've lost your practice, or you're not sure how to do a certain thing, or you're not very good at it, then you're not going to be able to help them. And because you can't get them a result, you don't get paid at the end of the day. So I know it's hard. It not only takes long to qualify as a practitioner, a master practitioner in NLP, it's also hard because there's so much information in that I believe confuses people. It really does. Okay. There's a lot of language patterns that they use that confuse people. Okay. Now, I'll give you an example. Tony Robbins also did this before, many years ago. He looked at NLP and he thought, wow, this is great, but too confusing. So he went away and simplified it. Okay. Now, that works well for him. But again, it takes a long time to train with him and learn what he does. And let's be honest, he's really good at what he does. Okay. So a lot of people go, well, I could never be like him. Well, look, here's the thing. Emotional change therapy is a really unique way for you to be able to earn the same, if not more, as an NLP practitioner or master practitioner, and learn how to do it properly whilst getting the support to do it effectively and easily. Okay. Now, an emotional change coach, which is the equivalent of an NLP practitioner, can still charge the same. You can still charge 200 to 250 pounds a session. An emotional change therapist, which is the equivalent to what we call a master practitioner in NLP, you can charge anything from 350 to 400 pounds per session, and you can start to carry out breakthrough days, which I spoke about earlier on, which you can charge a minimum of £3,000 for. And it's not unheard for like celebrities and stuff and things like that to pay a hell of a lot more. Some celebrities will pay, 30,000 pounds for you to give them a breakthrough experience. Okay. But obviously that comes with time and experience. All right. So I want to talk to you right now. Remember, there's nothing to buy. I can't sell anything to you right now. I'm not selling anything to you right now. All I'm doing right now is sharing with you how you can get qualified as a coach or therapist. And if you're already trained in NLP and all this kind of stuff, come and hang out with us. I'll explain why, right? Every single one of you who are already trained in NLP or already trained in some kind of therapy, if you are not getting the results for yourself and for your clients because you're struggling to get clients, or you're struggling to, implement what you've taught, or you're a bit confused, come and unlearn some of the stuff that you've picked up and learn a quicker way to do it. And I'll explain how in a second. And like I said, you can't buy it right now. I'm also going to explain how you can do it really simply, very cheaply, and how you can get funded for this as well. Okay, so nothing to buy right now, though, other than I need to tell you about this. And then I'm going to make you a very open invitation to a select few of you. And if you take it up, happy days. We should be on that journey together real soon. Okay, so let me talk to you about emotional change therapy certification. Okay. First of all, across all levels, whether you come in as a coach, whether you come in as a therapist, or whether you do both, you've got to do a few hours of home study. It's not a lot. Again, you know, when I trained in an LP, I think there was like a 20-hour home study program. It was like 20 hours of home study I had to do, which is quite a lot. We've whittled it down to a few hours. It's like 2 or 3 hours of home studying. And then you've got an exam that you've got to do. Okay, so it's a written paper exam. You write the exam before you come to the training. As in the in-person training, which I'll talk about in a second, and then we'll mark your paper when you're there, and we'll give you results. And look, the exam isn't there to throw you off. Okay, the exam is just there to help us understand whether you've retained what we've actually taught you or not. Okay, then all of you, whether you're going to be a coach or therapist, you need to attend the 3-day live coach certification days. Okay, these are 3 days face-to-face, in person. I'll talk to you about where and venues and all that kind of stuff in a little while. 3-day face-to-face, in-person live coach certification, where we enhance some of the things that you've learned on the home study program. So we teach you some more, but mostly we'll be practicing these techniques with our lead instructors. Okay, so you'll be there, small groups, you'll be practicing together with partners and trying these techniques out on each other, so that you also get breakthroughs for yourself, but you start to learn how to use these things. Look, studies have shown that you retain between 70 to 80% of what you learn when you actually simulate it or do it in real life. Okay, so come and hang out with us over the 3 days. For whether you're being a coach or therapist, you need to attend these first 3 days. Okay, now what are you going to learn over these 3 days? You're going to learn about how to do past trauma intervention. How do you help someone who's been through some kind of trauma, maybe yourself even, and how do you do some interventions to help them overcome that trauma? How do you identify and delete triggers? What do I mean by this? Well, let's be honest. All of us have triggers that might trigger off a certain state. For example, you might hear a certain song playing in the background. It might remind you of a previous relationship that went wrong, and then you start to feel down. Okay, so we're going to teach you, how do you identify these triggers? How do you get rid of that trigger and replace it with a better one? Okay, we're also going to look at eye movement interpretation. I'm going to teach you, just by talking to someone, how you can tell by just how they're moving their eyes what they're thinking. Okay, this is really powerful. You can tell whether someone's creating pictures in their head. You can tell whether someone's talking to themselves. You can tell whether someone's feeling some kind of emotion right now just by the way that they move their eyes. And when you know that, you can start to ask them better questions. Okay, we're also going to be looking at body language calibration. How do you calibrate on someone's body language so that you can really understand what's going on? Because most of the communication that you receive from people isn't verbal, it's non-verbal. And I want to teach you how to pick up on this stuff. Okay, we're also going to teach you on the 3 days about beliefs and value elicitation. How do you extract someone's belief system? How do you extract their values and see whether they're serving them or not? Because at the end of the day, if your values, like I said earlier on, if you're too safe all the time, you believe it's better safe than sorry. Okay, it doesn't always serve you. Okay, like for example, like, you know, if you want to go out there and do great things, you've got to take some risks. But if you're always hell bent on being safe, you'll never move forward. So you'll learn how to extract the values that are serving you and also get rid of the ones that are not. And you'll also learn to extract the beliefs that are serving you, and similarly, the ones that are not. Okay, we're also going to teach you how you steal superpowers. Now, what do I mean by this? How do you get in the mind, inside the mind of great leaders, great thought leaders, or great athletes, or people, super powerful people that have achieved greatness in their life? How do you get in their mind and use what they know without being them? That's a powerful technique. We're going to be sharing with you how to do that whilst you're there. We're also going to be sharing with you something called a fast phobia intervention. For those of you who are up for doing this, how do you get rid of phobias with people who've got phobia? And a phobia, what's a phobia? Phobia is an irrational fear. For example, a fear of spiders. Okay, most people are scared of spiders, or they have a phobia of spiders. And let's be honest, it is irrational. Here's why. Unless obviously it's a poisonous one and it's about to bite you, clearly not. But most spiders are harmless. But it's an irrational fear because the spider's actually more scared of you than you are of it. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, the spider is running away from you, is not running towards you. Okay, so how do we get rid of these phobias? Okay, we're going to show you how to get rid of your own phobias, but also how to get rid of other people's phobias. And like, for example, I've done this with people who've got a fear of public speaking. You know, I've got rid of their phobia in 10 minutes, gone, off they go, they start speaking, okay? We're also going to show you how to delete painful experiences. And when I say delete painful experiences, we're not talking about getting rid of the event. What's happened in your life has happened. We can't delete it. What we can do, though, is delete the experience you've had after the experience. What do I mean by this? We can delete the feelings that you've had after the experience, okay? If they're negative and they've hurt you, we can show you how to turn that around, and then how you can do that for other people. We're also going to share with you how to build rapport really, really quickly. What is rapport? Commonality, okay? How do you get in tune with people so they like, trust you, they want to work with you, all that kind of stuff, and they feel more comfortable sharing with you? This is super duper important, especially if you're going to coach people, okay? So we'll teach you how to do that quickly, and I'm going to share with you as well, how do you then structure your sessions when you start coaching people? Where do you find clients easily, and how to charge them and how often to charge them as well? Okay, so we're going to share with you exactly how to do that, how to set up the business side of this, because most people are teaching you how to coach and become therapists. And this is the other thing I find difficult with the neuro-linguistic programming world, NLP world. Beautiful technology, great information, sometimes a bit too confusing, but also you're not really taught properly how to set up a business. Now, look, having sold multiple businesses myself all across the world, I feel I'm very qualified to help you set up a very good coaching practice as well off the back of this, okay? And I'm going to share with you how to do that whilst you're there, okay? So that's available for you across all levels, okay? Now, what are the dates, okay? So at the moment, you're seeing some dates come up on your screen. And these dates that you're seeing coming up on your screen and the venue and the location, they are the dates of the 3-day live certification training. Okay, so please write them down right now, pop them in your diary. And we have multiple dates to choose from, but these are the next ones coming up. So look, at the end of the day, don't let the dates put you off, because what I'm about to do in a moment is extend a very unique opportunity for some of you to take it up. So, okay, even if you can't make these dates for whatever reason, move your diary. And if you can't, please take up the opportunity I'm going to give you anyway, because you can attend one of our later dates. So those are the dates in the you can see on the screen right now, as well as the venue, which is there. Okay, so those are our next ones coming up. All right. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the 3 days, I'm going to offer you an opportunity. And that opportunity is to become a business partner of mine. Okay, like I said earlier on, I've got people asking for help. I just don't have anyone to send them to. If I've certified you, I have an opportunity for you to join our partnership program. And our partnership program is where you now are not only a certified emotional change therapy coach, but you're also partnered with us so that you can actually start getting clients yourself, okay? And we've got a very unique opportunity to extend to many of you. And here's how far I'm going with this. I'm currently working on getting this therapy into medical practices, into the National Health Service and all this kind of stuff. I'm looking and look, my background's in nursing, so I'm really pushing for this. Okay, I really believe it. I'm really behind it. When that blows up, I will be inundated with work and I won't be able to do it myself. So there'll be a partnership opportunity for you guys. So, because the big problem you're going to face once you've qualified is, where do I go and get clients from? How do I do marketing? How do I do this? How do I do that? Well, look, I'm a big believer in collaboration, not competition. So if you're up for it and you do well whilst you're there, I can't give it to all of you. You've got to prove yourself whilst you're there for the 3 days. Okay. I can't just go into business for everyone. Prove yourself, play full out over the 3 days, and I'll share with you how I'm going to help you make money from this without you having to worry too much. Okay, good. Next, now this is only for you if you want to advance yourself and become an emotional change therapist. Okay, so first 3 days, all of you need to attend, whether you want to be a coach or therapist or whatever it might be. Okay, and then after your first 3 days, those of you who want to become a therapist, I need you to stay for another 3 days with me and the team. Okay, stay for another 3 days. Why? Because we're going to deep dive into the therapist certification. Now, what is the therapist certification? We're going to start covering things like addictions and cessation. How do you stop people from, smoking? How do you help people overcome addictions? And addictions are not just drug related or alcohol related. They could be food related. Like, let's be honest, some of us are addicted to chocolate cake, okay, or whatever it might be. And we want to help people overcome these addictions. And maybe you want to overcome some addiction yourself. So we're going to show you how to become an addiction change facilitator. How do you stop people from getting addicted to stuff and get them to move forwards? We're also going to be talking about a technique called conversational change. How do you change people's lives in just one conversation? How do you do that? it's incredible, but it's possible. All right. So this is a deeper type of therapeutic intervention, which is for therapists only. We're also going to be talking about timeline transitioning, which is based off of timeline therapy, where how do you take someone back in the past, change the meaning of what's happened to them, and then take the lessons of all of that and bring it into the present and also into the future. Okay. That's a massive, massive technique which help you overcome anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, whatever it might be, or overcome all of these kind of negative feelings. If you want someone to overcome all these feelings of a bad experience, you can use that technique. It's super powerful, gets people massive results, and you can charge a lot to do that. All right. We're also going to be introducing you to something called heart-based intervention. This is actually something that I didn't even know I was doing. Like, my business partner picked this up and go, hey, Jess, you're doing this, this, and this, and this, and this. And I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe I should be teaching people how to do this. How do you tune into your heart, connect that with someone else's heart, help them listen to their heart and move forwards? Because at the end of the day, whatever you do through in life should come through you, not from you. It should come through you. So have a thought, but let it come through your heart. Okay. So there's a way to do that. And I'm going to share with you how to do that for yourself, but also how you can do it for clients, because it's a very powerful tool, which isn't really taught in NLP either. So I want to share with you how to do that. We're also going to be looking at advanced language patterning. How do you pick up on advanced language patterns when you're listening to people just by what they're saying? How do you pick up on this stuff, calibrate on it so you can help them move forwards? And then finally, on the therapist level, we're going to show you exactly how to run a breakthrough day, how to structure it from step by step from start to finish, and then also how to charge people accordingly in order to get that massive breakthrough for them. We're going to share with you how to do that. We're going to share with you how to script it, how to take them through a process and charge big money up to £3,000, or starting from £3,000, should I say, just for having a breakthrough day with people. And we're going to teach you some hypnosis. Okay. How do you put people under hypnotic trance? How do you help them get into trance? Because that way, if you can put people into a hypnotic trance, it will help them understand what you're saying and get a better experience and a better breakthrough as well. Okay. So we're going to be teaching about hypnosis and how to hypnotize people. Not in this stage hypnosis stuff where you see people passing out and whatever and dancing like a chicken. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about therapeutic hypnosis. Okay. How do you do that? We're going to be sharing that with you. Okay. Now, look, remember, if you want to become a coach, you only need to attend the first 3 days. If you want to become a therapist, you need to attend the next 3 days as well. So there's 3 days back to back happening. Okay. They always happen back to back. We do coach and therapist on the same week so that you can all do it together. Okay. Coaches, you'll go home after day 3. Therapists, you'll stay on for another 3 days with us. Okay. So what you'll see coming up on your screen right now are the dates for the next 3-day therapist training, which will be back to back off the back of the coaching training. So remember, coaches, you stay for the first 3 days. You've already had the dates for that. Therapists, you stay for another 3 days on top with us to do your therapist certification as well. And again, you'll see on the screen right now the dates for that as well as the venue. And remember, it doesn't matter if you can't make these dates. Just take up the opportunity that I'm going to share with you in a moment so that you do not miss out. It's vital that you do that. Okay. And by the way, sometimes people ask us, hey, Jess, can I do coaching first and then come back at a later date and do therapy? Absolutely, you can. You can split the two if you really, really want to. That's why we designed it that way. But statistics show people who stick around and do them back to back get faster results, just saying. Okay. But we're very flexible. You can change stuff around. Okay. Now, here's the thing. What's the investment? What's the investment to become a coach? What's the investment to become a therapist? Well, the investment is only £1,995 to become a coach, or £3,495 to become an emotional change therapist. And again, remember, along with all of that comes your partnership opportunity to be invited to become one of our partners and work with us moving forwards. Now, look, here's the thing. That is not a lot of money, if I'm very honest, okay? I'm not going to ask you for that now. I'm not asking you for that at all. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to do right now. But I've got a very unique way of getting you funded and getting it done for less in a second, which I'll share with you. Now, just to prove something to you, here are some price comparisons. If you were going to do NLP, for example, neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, just NLP, nothing to do with me, but NLP. These are some, look at on the left there, practitioner. Look at some of the prices that people are charging for NLP practitioner certification. You've got anything from, £1,700 there, right up to £3,500 plus, right? So it's not cheap. Okay. So in fact, doing, ECT coach training is still very, very comparable with the market, all right, at the price I've just shown you. Look at master practitioner. Some people are charging as much as £4,000 on top, by the way, on top of the money you've already paid as practitioner. And before you know it, you spent 4, 5, 10 grand nearly sometimes on this. Yeah. So this is what's happening in the marketplace right now. Okay. So look, here's the thing. Your investment isn't going to be £1,995. It's not even going to be £3,495. Okay. It's not going to be anywhere near that. All right. Not anywhere near that. Okay. Your investment is only £995 for emotional change coach, or £1,995 if you want to do both. Okay. By the way, you don't have to pay me $995 and $1,995 if you want to become a therapist. You only pay $1,995, and I'll give you coach certification and therapist certification all in one. Okay. So you only ever pay once. Okay. So you either pay to be a coach or you pay to be a therapist and a coach. Okay. Now that's already incredible value. I already told you that's not what you're going to pay though. You can't buy it now, even if you wanted to. I'm not offering it to you right now. This is not for you to buy right now. I'm going to explain why in a second. Okay. But look, here's the thing. All right. I need your help. And I'm being very blunt and honest right now. I need your help. So I'm going to ask you a very direct question. If I can actually fund some of your tuition for you, so you don't pay $995 and you don't pay $1,995, and I upfront fund a big chunk of this for you, and I mean a massive chunk of this, because I need your help. If I made that investment for you, give me a 1 down below if you would do this. Give me a 1 down below, please. If you would train to be a coach, train to be a therapist, and then go out there and change people's lives, not only for yourself, but for other people. Give me a 1. If I made it easier, as in I funded a big chunk of your tuition, you do this, okay? I want to see lots of 1s. Yes? Awesome. Okay, look, here's the thing. I have to be honest though, it's not for everybody. And I'll explain why in a second, because most people, unfortunately, say they want to do something, but then they don't do it. Okay. So what shows up in intention doesn't always show up in behavior. I can't have people like that on our team. I really can't. Why? Because look, you are going to be like delving into the world of leadership. When you become a coach, when you become a therapist, you're going to have to lead people, and you can't be messing about here. You can't be indecisive. You've got to go forwards with stuff. So we need to make sure it fits. It makes to make sure it's the right fit, which is why you can't pay for this right now, which is why you can't buy it right now. So you're not going to pay $1,995 for coach or £3,495 for a therapist. You're not going to pay £995 for change coach or $1,995 for therapist. It's actually going to be way less than that. Why? Because I'm going to fund a big chunk of your tuition. And just to prove to you that I'm funding it, have a think about this. How on earth do I make any money from just coaching you for 3 days on coach level or 6 days by charging you a little bit of money? I don't really make money on this. Okay. So I'm going to literally fund a big chunk so that it just covers the cost. You just have to pay me some money to cover the cost of delivering the training. Why? Because I need more people to come and help us. Okay. There's a bigger picture here. People need help all across the world in different countries. And I hopefully want you to become one of those people that partner up with us and get it done. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I've got a bursary available for a few of you on this call right now, just for a few of you. Okay. Now, give me a 2 down below if you're interested in getting that bursary, please. Give me a 2 if you're interested in me funding a massive chunk of your coach training or therapist training. If you want to do both, give me a 2 down below. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome stuff. Well, good. Don't just say it, be about it. So here's what's going to happen. This is strictly via application only. This is not for you to just think that, hey, I can just give you my credit card and I'm in. Doesn't work like that. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's application only, but then they give it to everyone. Don't be that person. Okay. Don't be that person who tells people lies. Okay. I'm not that guy. All right. This is genuinely application only. You could get rejected. And I'll tell you why, because it might not be the right fit for you and you might not be in the right place mentally or financially as well. So we're not going to just put you into debt and all this kind of stuff. It might not be for you. So it's strictly via application only. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you how to do that. Now, just to remind you, you're going to get the home study program. You're going to get the 3-day life coach certification and the partnership opportunity across all levels. And for those of you who are up for it, you're also going to get a further training with us for 3 days, so 6 days in total, to also become a therapist where you can charge more per hour and also do breakthrough experiences with people. Okay. Now, there's a link coming up in the chat box right now. Yeah, it's bit.ly/ECT-call. Okay, the link will be coming up in the chat box right now. You have to book an application call with one of the team. Okay, this is a quick call with the team. They will screen, there's questions to fill out as well. Make sure you fill out those questions when you book your call. Booking your call with the team. They will screen your application. If your application is successful, they'll jump on a call with you. Okay, you'll get confirmation of all of that in a message and a text and an email, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you check your inbox or your spam box in case you don't get your confirmation details. Book your call in, providing there's some slots available, because I don't know how many people are booking on right now. If the slots are gone, they're gone. So go quickly to the chat, to the link in the chat box. Book yourself a quick chat with the team. There's no obligation, but on this call, two things are going to happen. We're going to assess whether ECT coaching or therapist level is for you. And we're also going to assess whether you get the bursary or not. Okay, so we'll ask you some questions about whether we're going to give you the bursary or not. If you're successful with the bursary, you will be literally surprised of how affordable it is, because we've actually funded a big chunk of that for you. You'll be surprised how affordable it is to get in on ECT. But not only is it so affordable, we're also going to share with you how you can get funded for it as well. How can you find the money to pay for it if you're struggling with the money to get paid to pay for it as well? Okay, we're going to help you get funded on that. Okay, so money's not an issue. It's more about whether this is going to be the right fit for you and you're going to be right fit for us. And then which level is it, coach or therapist? Okay, because some of you might want to come in on coach, but we actually think you'd be a good therapist. Okay, so let my team discuss that with you. If you're successful, we'll get you enrolled, we'll get you started, and we'll get you trained up. Okay, so once again, you're going to get the home study program. If you're successful, you get the coaching certification, partnership opportunity, and then for those of you who are up for it, you'll get trained at the therapist level as well. Okay, now remember, it's strictly application only. I'm not going to keep on banging on about this, but you won't get in just because you got a pulse and a checkbook. It's not for everybody. Okay, now the thing I have to say to you is, if you haven't done it already, go to the link in the chat box. Okay, bit.ly/ECT-call. Okay, book yourself in a call right now. Get yourself involved with one of our team. They will talk you through the process. It's an application call, no hard selling here. It's just purely to find out whether this is the right fit for you, which level, how you're going to invest in it. And if you're struggling to invest in it, we'll help you get funded and get you started, especially with our bursary. Okay, so money is not an option, but I just want you guys to not let money get in the way. Okay, let's move forwards together. It's better to go together. Okay, like my business partner Rob Moore always says this. He says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Okay, so let's go together on this. So book your call. If you're struggling to get the link to work, for example, the link's not working, it's blah blah blah, do me a favor, put your name and mobile telephone number or cell phone number, whatever you want to call it. Put your name and mobile number in the chat box right now. Do it immediately, and one of my team will reach out to you and get you booked in for a call. Okay, so if the link's not working for whatever reason and you need to speak to one of the team, you want to book in a call, but the link's struggling, whatever it might be, put your name and number in the chat box right now. My team will reach out to you. So team, if you're listening to this, please take a note of anybody putting their name and number in the chat box and make sure you get on top of that so you can help them get booked in. Okay, so look, I'm going to leave you with this. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your decisions. I tell you straight, ECT fundamentally focuses on state management. If we can manage our state, we can make better decisions. We make better decisions, we'll make better behaviors. We make better behaviors, we'll get better results. Okay, right now, if you're fearful, worried, concerned, unsure, it's clearly not a good state. So you're not going to make a good decision. You might go, I'm not going to do this, I can't afford it, I don't know. That's not a good decision to make. All right, make a better decision. My life completely turned around when I decided to invest in myself. It's your shot now. You got one shot. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your decisions. We are not going to hold this bursary long. We're going to be putting the price back up to market price, so we're competing with everybody else. But for now, you've got an opportunity. Don't let it go. Okay, remember, you're going to get a home study program, coaching certification, partnership opportunity, and for those of you up for it, another 3 days advanced training to become a therapist, so you can charge more and earn more as well. You're not going to pay anywhere near what you pay for NLP and all this kind of stuff out there. It's a fraction of the investment to go and work elsewhere, only if you're successful on the application. Okay, so go to the link in the chat box right now, bit.ly/ECT-call, get yourself involved. Speak to the team. If you're struggling to book the link or whatever it might be, it's not working, remember, put your name and number in the chat box and one of my team will reach out to you. All right. So look, I got a dash. I hope this training served you. Whatever you're doing right now in your life, I just want you to remember that you deserve better. And I feel one of the things that the world's missing right now are good people like you and I We need to get out there more. We need to help other people, but we also need to turn our own lives around. And I want to be hopefully the catalyst in your life that helps you do that. And I definitely look forward to seeing you at the next training with me. Okay, so remember, book a call. There's nothing to buy right now. Just book a call, speak to one of the team, get yourself involved, apply to become a therapist. If you get the funding in for the therapy training, then happy days. If you get the funding in for the coach training as well, happy days. Get yourself involved, and then my team will talk you through how to get started. All right. So love you guys. Appreciate you. Mwah. We're going to leave the chat box open for a little bit longer whilst this is playing. So we'll leave the chat box a little bit open for a bit longer, should I say. So if you need to communicate with the team, you can communicate with the team, and then we'll end the session. All right. So love you guys.
You've been listening to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jess and James. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on all the channels, links in the show notes. Please also leave a review and visit www.jessandjames.com to find more resources on how to create the life you deserve.